Sport Subaru, Sport Mitsubishi, and Don Mealy Chevrolet are places that you can buy vehicles, and we love these guys.
The car market is insane right now. Obviously, if you talk to anybody who's buying a car or trying to sell their used car with ridiculous prices.
The dealer calls me every week to buy my car.
Yeah, I talked to the guys at DM Chevy and at Don Mealy Sport Subaru and Sport Mitsubishi, and they will not sell their cars above MSRP. And this is important because during this market, there are other dealerships selling above MSRP, and because they can get it.
Well, those dealers typically are reported, and then they get into a decent amount of trouble with the auto manufacturer because you are technically not allowed to do that.
But I heard that Don Mealy he's putting his foot down. He's like, I'm not doing that.
That's awesome.
And so if you want to buy a vehicle and know that you're buying it, because at this point in time during this market, you're buying it for what it costs, but the deals you're getting, and this is why you need to talk to JC Harrelson or Mike Stacks over in Sport Subaru, is because they will let you know all the incentives. Yep. They will try to give you the best deal that they can because you're a Tom and Dan listener, and that's why it's important you tell them I'm with Tom and Dan, because they're going to take care of you.
Yeah, they need to look at your situation though first. I mean, JC's really good at finding what type of financing or whatever's going to work best for you and your family. But you got to get a hold of them first and let them know that you are a BDM and that you're connected with us.
Yeah, and a lot of times you're ordering the vehicle, and because the inventory is so low right now because everything is such high demand.
Sure.
So the easiest thing you can do is talk to JC Harrelson at Don Mealy Chevrolet and Mike Stacks at Sport Subaru, Sport Mitsubishi right there on West Colonial Drive. Talk to those guys if you're interested in either of those car brands, because they will take care of you. Also, Sport Subaru raised a bunch of money in their Subaru Share the Love event, and all goes to local charities.
That
They're good.
Subaru Share the Love event, every single year they just keep raising more and more money for deserving charities. It's awesome.
So if you're looking for a vehicle, talk to our sponsors.
We're going to power? Let's power through. Let's just keep going. This is fun. I like doing these voicemails. Again, if you want to leave us a voicemail message, 1-844-TOMNDAN, or use our free app with all of our content on there. This one has to do with VR. I'm getting a lot of voicemail messages and email messages from people that are really excited that we're the VR guys. We're the one-stop shop for everything VR. Nobody does VR like we do VR. TDVR. We are the virtual reality guys. Mm-hmm. We're the influencers. Thumb on the pulse.
Hey guys, Chris from Ormond Beach. Listening to Mondays, our corporate time, and I find myself being interested in this virtual reality thing you guys are doing. And I've seen on YouTube a channel where a guy is playing this virtual reality game called Boneworks. The user, I think his name is Joe AH or Joa. I don't know how you pronounce it, but essentially this guy is doing everything you want to do in VR. Shooting guns, flipping, doing all of that.
I looked up this guy. This guy has like a warehouse, and he has like trampolines, and he will like flip and shoot. Like, he's doing it right, this VR guy.
And is it just for him or for other people?
It's just for him. It's like his channel, his videos, and him showing stuff,
So he's set up a location that he's mapped out.
A lot of guys are kind of doing that, where they'll take a room in their house and they'll basically dedicate it.
Turn into a VR room,
Yeah, where you just have this room where you can go in and you're free from obstacles, and, the flooring is nice, and...
Dude, we call our landlord, right? I mean, is that place right next door? Is it rented out already?
No.
It's been empty for months, right?
I think the yoga lady that was there died in there. I think her body's in there.
Yeah. No one's been there for a long time. And I think our landlord owns that building too, right?
Every morning, he does. Every morning when I would get here, I'd go to set up the studio, I'd go to walk to the door, and I'd see her. She'd have her blinds open. It's like when she saw me, she's like, the perverts are here. And she'd I'm not looking at her windows or anything, but she was always closing the windows. Well, one day they closed and they never opened back up, and I think she's in there. Have you smelled anything?
And
it's cold right now. She's been sitting in there for a while.
what if we rented that place out and we turned it into Tom and Dan's VR experience, right? And then we have our listeners come or anybody driving.
We need a cooler name than Tom and Dan VR experience. Everybody. Okay, like even our buddy Kirk who does the NFTs. Like, he's got Mercury Meta. Like, everything's meta now.
Virtual insanity.
Yes, virtual insanity.
And then all it plays is Jamiroquai.
Virtual Tom Danity.
All right, there we go. Okay.
Virtual Tom Danity.
That's why you're around here. That's why you make the big bucks.
I'm only here for the puns.
Virtual Tom and Danity.
It's Tom Danity.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
But we can change it.
Anyway, and then we, have a VR experience. I don't know what we do in there. It has to involve, like, sex elements.
Yeah, it's all sex.
Oh, yeah. We'll get some sex workers.
Is it?
And then...
Oh, they're too stupid to use the VR equipment.
No. But
because they're mostly old.
But that's where...
They're all old ladies. They're all, like, in their 50s. Like, true sex workers.
Remember when George Costanza or someone, they started a frozen yogurt...
Let's call it Costanza's VR. That's a better name.
I think it wasn't George Costanza. Remember the Seinfeld episode where there was they said fat-free yogurt place, and then it wasn't. They just said that, and then everybody's getting fat. So we say, like, VR sex.
Fat-free VR.
And then you put on the helmet, and then we actually have real sex workers service you. And then you're
that's disgusting.
But it's just...
I don't want to be walking around like the guy that's like servicing the coin-operated laundromat. I don't want to be working that thing.
Yeah, but it's... But
how do we keep the ladies in there? Like, doing their... How do we make sure they're
pay
on
them.
task?
I mean, you pay... Like, and it's all a facade for husbands to say, like, hey, Tom and Dan's virtual...
insanity.
It is like this virtual sex experience, but it's not. It's real sex.
And why don't we just can we ditch the VR equipment because it's too expensive?
No,
if it's
but
just actual sex.
But that's where you tell your wife.
Well, I can put some goggles on. I'll go down to Walmart and buy a bunch of swim goggles and spray paint them to look like VR.
Yeah, we don't even have any VR.
Don't even plug them in.
It's also
it's like the Red Hot Chili Peppers at the Super Bowl. Don't plug your guitars in.
It's for BDMs to cheat on their wives. Because that's what they want to do, but tell their wives it's virtual so they don't think it's as bad. You see what I'm saying? It's like going to...
So it's a lie.
Yes. But it's all for the money.
So we're just selling a lie.
Yeah. I mean,
they don't even need to come here. Can't they just lie to their wife and say, I didn't cheat on you? Same thing. It's like, why are we the ones with the building? We're paying the rent. I got sex workers involved.
Well, because other than that, you have to go down to OBT. I don't know where you get prostitutes nowadays.
It used to be down there where your wife used to work at the moving company on OBT.
Yeah,
down there near Florida Mall. You see them, but they're all old, man.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah, no one wants to do that. Like, so then you go to the massage parlor, but you can't be... you can't tell your wife you're going to a massage parlor. Like,
why not?
But everybody knows what happens there now because of Robert Kraft and all the news.
Kraft's fault.
Well, if you go to a massage parlor and be like, "Hey, I'm swinging by the Lee Road massage parlor," your wife's gonna know you're cheating. If you go to Tom and Dan's virtual reality, then it's like, okay,
we're tangenting, but serious question, and we're tangenting, and I like this idea.
I'm done with that.
I like it.
Move on.
All done. Robert Kraft.
Yes.
There have been multiple instances where, since his, little massage deal, where has he had another massage since then? He has, right?
Yeah, but
has he mentioned to somebody, like, I think I'll go get a massage? Like, anytime he uses the term massage from now into the time he dies, it will trigger a memory in his brain of him getting sex from a massage lady, right? Always. The word massage has been ruined.
Yeah, I don't think it was sex either. I think it was just, the...
That's sex. It's a version of sex.
Well, it's an act. But it's a hand. So it's kind of like, nah.
I don't think
it's the smallest.
Oh, say that to your wife. Go, man.
I've talked to Crystal about this. Remember, it was a whole thing back in the day.
I think it's changed though.
About in her younger days, pre-family, she used to be like, I don't consider that cheating.
Hand, no big deal.
Now
it's the hand that fathered her sons.
Also, she's gotten older, more conservative. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she's
not her voting record. She's shocking.
She's not as free-willed and crazy as she used to be.
Let's try this one right here because I have a feeling that this one is going to be extremely unfortunate.
Hey, Tom and Dan. You guys were talking about, on your last Friday Free Show, talking with Ross about all the hamsters and whatnot. One time I was at Petco, me and my ex-wife, and they were giving away free hamsters. And I think we already had one. We had two. Anyways, they were giving away a free cage. And it said, the only caveat was you had to take the hamsters that were in it. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll take it. Had all the whoop-de-doos and swirls and tunnels and whatever in it. So took it home and got home, pulled the little dome thing out of the bedding, and there were 50 to 100 little hamsters in this thing, all piled in there. So I was like,
50 to 100?
How many hamsters do you give birth to?
I think hamsters give birth to like 25 at a time or something.
Is it like
they
that?
Poop them a bunch out.
25. There's a lot of hamsters.
Well, I think 20 of them are for snacking, right? Don't they they poop them out and they eat them up, and then 5 of them are their kids.
Yeah, I mean,
it'd be weird watching my wife do that.
How many hamsters could one hamster hold inside its tiny hamster uterus?
You know how much I know? I was going to say I was going to go vagina because that's how much of an idiot I am.
What?
I'm not keeping these things. So I just shoot them off into the backyard and wish them luck. And for about 3 or 4 months, every night when I would go to sleep, you would hear these things out there screaming because the neighborhood cat was getting them. And so one night I'm pulling up to my house. It's dark, so I'm pulling up to my house, and my headlight shine on the side of my house, and I see this little gerbil like getting attacked by this cat, but this little gerbil sitting on his hind legs.
So you're insane, sir.
Yeah, God Almighty.
Also, this is why I'm confused. So you're at some sort of, what did you say, pet store?
Petco.
He's at Petco, and first of all, if I'm walking through Petco and someone's like, "Hey, I'll give you this whole cage of hamsters," I'm like, "You couldn't." If you paid me $200, I wouldn't take that. You know what I'm saying? Like, who the hell randomly wants an entire cage of hamsters and is willing to take it on a whim of just like someone giving it to you?
Dad that makes poor decisions and thinks he can be a hero to his kids. I can see a scenario where this would happen.
Okay.
I mean, obviously it did. I mean,
it did happen, but this is why I'm confused. So you are the type of personality to take a whole cage of hamsters on a whim, right? Like unplanned, here's a cage of hamsters, and you wanted it, right? So that makes me think you somewhat enjoy hamsters, right? I'm just following the logic.
The chat room's worried about his enjoyment of punting them into the yard.
Well, that's why I'm confused. So by you taking a cage of hamsters at Petco tells me that you somehow wanted or enjoy hamsters even a little bit, right? Because why else would you take the cage of hamsters? And then
some people have an addiction to free stuff, though. Have you ever met those people?
Well, that's why you're insane.
Yeah, there are sick people that, like, no matter what it is,
you just take it. Why? It's a burden
I hate
to you.
to admit this, but my dad had an element of getting anything for free because he'd bring something home for free, and then later that night I'd see it in the trash. Like, he had to give it a beat. He had to give it a beat.
Yeah, that's a different mental illness because then you took all those baby hamsters and you just let them and then listen to them die overnight and you laugh about it like you're crazy, sir. Why do you hate hamsters? Did you buy them for the purpose of torturing them?
I mean, at the very least, you're conflicted about how you feel about hamsters because you love them or hate them. I don't know. You're conflicted, though.
So you'll just take anything someone offers for free? That's insane. Like, who would just take a cage of hamsters if you didn't really enjoy hamsters anyway? All right. Yeah.
Also, the chat room is, and this happens, they're debating whether or not they think it even happened, because that's a lot of hamsters. Sounds like a lot of like exaggeration possibly there. We'll continue.
Weird thing to make up.
Yeah, we'll try this one.
Hey, what's up, guys and ladies? Hilton Head BDM here. Just driving around really high, and I was thinking about, I went to the store earlier grocery shopping, and I noticed that it was like half empty, like my grocery store. is like half empty. We all heard that there might be shortages, and it seems to be happening. And I thought to myself, well, what are people going to do? And then I realized, and I'm saving lives here, just go to like McDonald's or something. Everything will be fine.
All right, sir.
I did enjoy how high he was and the fact that he thought that was like a revelation. I enjoyed this voicemail a lot more than I thought I would.
Now, you do understand that if the grocery stores are empty, is going to be a bigger problem than just going to McDonald's.
He didn't see that, but I enjoyed this voicemail a lot.
It's going to be real bad where you're going to have to make the hard decision whether you join the resistance and fight, or you just eat a bullet at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, it will get real bad if the grocery stores are empty, more than just a long line of McDonald's. McDonald's ain't going to save us. That's all I'm saying, because they're killing us. They need to, if the supply chain is broken down that much, McDonald's isn't getting anything to cook either. Anyway.
Have you had anything that's been delayed recently that you needed that you couldn't find?
The only pain in the ass, and this really didn't have to do with like a little bit of supply shortages, but when my pool filter and that thing that goes around the top, then they're like, well, this piece is $400 and it'll take 3 months to get. And 3 months, like, it doesn't work. And then I had to buy an entire new pool filter. Now my pool filter was old anyway, so it was like, all right, whatever. I'll pay the extra money. But that was more of a problem of like a factory burned down. My pool guy was telling me like there's a factory burned down, and then some other like plastic molding thing. Like, it was like multiple problems and the supply shortages. But I just from everybody having COVID, if you go to the grocery store, like, there's no Gatorade and stuff, because people are buying stuff that you buy when you get sick, right? It doesn't take that much. Like, all these stores just order. We saw it with toilet paper and stuff like that. Like, they order the exact amount they need based on people's buying habits, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So then they have a computer system that orders stuff as it gets bought, and then it has like inventory, and as things dwindle down, and it's not used to all of a sudden a surge of people buying one type of thing, and then when that happens everywhere, then it gets backed up for X amount of months, and it's like the same thing with the cars and all this.
We're
stuff.
waiting on chips, right? I mean, for people's vehicles, I guess, that they have on order and stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, the dealerships, like, they're out of inventory. Most things are like that.
I get a call every week about, well, it's really Andrea's SUV, but they call weekly. They're like, you want to sell it? I'm like, nope, not this week.
I guess all I can say is like it just is patience, and then it's like, hey, things are different than they used to be. Yeah. So it's like we have to everybody's dealing with it too. It's like not just you.
I haven't found anything yet where I was like, oh no, I don't have a necessity. You know what I mean? Like I think people want to make it a little worse than it is. I mean, if you have to use Degree deodorant instead of your Suave, you're going to be just fine. You'll be all right.
We are.
I don't consider that a complaint. You see what I'm saying? Like, some people they'll be like, they're out of my the deodorant. There's nothing there, and I'm like, well, it's just the one you like. There's deodorant there. It's just not the stuff you like.
Yeah. And I know, like, some people. I mean, and then obviously this is our experience. Some people, I'm sure there was things that were life altering.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry for that, but for the most part, you're right. People just like they complain too much when minor inconveniences happen.
I'm trying to get better about that myself.
And it's like, it's a minor inconvenience. Like, I mean, Crystal still has a cough from her COVID.
I know, she was talking about it this morning.
And she's coughing all night, and like she got bronchitis from her COVID.
Coughing gives me a headache. If I cough enough, that just the way that I cough, I don't know if she has this, but the way that I execute a cough in my body is violent enough where it makes my head hurt. Because it's like the percussive aspect of the cough, like whacks my brain or something. Like, I hate it.
But then it's like Crystal and I feel it's like you feel by complaining like people died. So it's like this is a minor inconvenience,
no big deal
comparatively to someone dying. So it's like all right, you go through this. So with everything, it's like all right, you can't get the brand that you want. Some people, can't get the medication they need to survive or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Or some people lost their loved one. It's
just
cool.
go with the flow and
Hang loose, Hawaii.
yeah. Just be patient.
We got time, I think, for one more. Try to squeeze this guy in.
Hey guys, I'm listening to ACT and Tom's talking about his time anxiety with his kids getting older. Just want to throw this out there to see if it makes it any worse. Does Tom realize that his time with his kids under his roof is already 25% over? So you look at it in terms of years, seems like a long time, but literally 25% of their time living in his house is already over. All right, have a great day. Love you
I'm not
guys.
sure I understand why people like to bother you with that sort of stuff.
It doesn't bother me. I am aware of
But
how
it bothers
percentages.
me. It bothers me.
You know, yeah. But here's how I combat that, sir. So we're doing this thing where we constantly tell Tommy and Max, like, oh, when you guys move out to go to college, you know, you can maybe live close to us, or maybe you want to go to a different state. And because they're so young and can't comprehend living somewhere else, they constantly like, we're not going to move out. We're going to live with you forever.
Yeah, that's what Maisie says. And I go, yes, you will.
And then I'm like, well, it's your choice. And like, yeah, this is what we want to
Oh,
do.
you're gaslighting them. So am I. So am I.
And then hopefully from years of that, it'll like Inception, I implant the idea that they want to live with us forever. And then because I'm fine with my sons being my friends forever.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally okay with
I
that.
want that to happen. I'm terrified of them leaving and then I'm alone.
I tell my daughter all the time, I'm like, you're going to end up living with me because you're not as talented as me. And you'll never be able to, like, provide for yourself because you're not as good as I am. So you might as well just let me work myself to death and then you live off of that. Right?
Maisie can already get a job now.
Yeah, she kind of could. She kind of could.
I mean, I am making my sons dependent on me. My sons don't know how to use a stove, don't know how to do nothing. They can't feed themselves. Like, Maisie can do my taxes. She's already independent.
She can do a lot. She started. Now she knows how to work the oven now.
Yeah. I mean, when she's gonna do the paperwork to get her own rights when she's 15. Like, you know,
I've
like,
started that. We walk by this apartment down the road here. When I go to pick her up from dance, I'll walk by this apartment. It's wide open. You know, they pull the blinds so you can see inside to see the layout and how nice it is. And I'm like, hey, you could live in there right now if you wanted to. Daddy, I'll go down there and get the deposit. You know, you could live there right now with the PB dogs, just you and the dogs, and then I'll come down here and hang out with you. And she's like, "Oh, can I invite my friends over?" I'm like, yeah. Andrea's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Look, this is you." I look at Andrea. I'm like, "This is you. This is not me."
She'll fill
I was
out-
a mama's boy. I was also a daddy's boy. Like, I loved being around my parents. I was a New York lonely boy, and you can look that up. That's an old what's her name? The famous comedian. Wrote for Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
Did the news.
I know.
Why can I not? Tina Fey.
Tina Fey.
It's a Tina Fey joke, but it's true. You know, like, I think sometimes when you're raised as I was raised as an only child, my parents were sort of my friends, and then other adults are my friends, and then you just grow up and you're like a weird little independent weirdo. And May got a heaping helping of that, even more so from her mom, because Andrea's so independent. She don't need no man.
No, yeah, I mean,
I'm lucky she just drags me along.
yeah, but she just took you like a stray dog.
Exactly. I'm a rescue dog. I'm a lumpy rescue dog, and she's okay with it. I'm a lumpy rescue dog that can sometimes lay on top of her with a boner.
And I also think, like, when I turned 18, I couldn't wait to take off and live on my own. And, like, Crystal was the same way. Like, we wanted to, leave the city we lived in.
I wanted to go to college and surf and hang out and do my own thing.
And I was looking at my sons, and I guess it's all personality based. And maybe Max is a little more, like, is going to want to take off more than Tommy. But anyway, I look at it like, why would they want to take off? They're in a better situation as far as, like, you got a pool, you got a house to live in.
Parents are together.
Yeah. And then it's like everything's seemingly happy, so it's like we've created a situation that I'm thinking of my mindset how we were as far as like when I hit 18, I'm out of here, right? And then I'm looking at them. Now, I don't want the opposite of the old, they do nothing and have no ambition and just live off in my house. You don't have
that.
I wouldn't let that happen. Like, they'd have to do something. But I wouldn't mind if, like, 18, 19, 20, when they are either going to school or tech school or some other education, they're living at the house. Like, I want that. Because
I had that type of relationship with my mom and dad. What you're describing is basically what I did. I went to a college that was like 2 hours away, but I always came back and hung out, right?
Yeah.
Some weekends I would skip and stay in St. Augustine and party, right? And then some weekends I'd come back and just hang out with my mom and dad. It was fun to get the best of both worlds. I had college and party. I got to do my thing. I lived by myself, but I also had the luxury of whipping over to my parents' house and seeing them, which I right now, as both of them are gone, I almost cursed. I am so grateful that I got the opportunity to go to college locally because I got to spend a lot of time with them.
Now, this is under my perspective of having a 6 and 7 year old, and I totally understand when they are 16 and 17 year old. I could be like, get these GD boys the hell out of my house because
I don't foresee that, but yeah, there's a chance.
Well, but that's what I've seen with other people. It's like once you have teenagers, they're like, I can, you need to get out and do your own thing. It's like because now you're living with an adult. Kind of, I'm just still a kid, but I'm saying you don't want, the next thing you know, you're living with a 25-year-old and they haven't done as much as you want. We're out of here. Bye-bye.
Get out of here.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some voicemail.
All right. Buddy, if you'd like to leave us a voicemail message, super easy to do. Get our free app with all of our content on there. You can even sign up to be a BDM member. While you're perusing the app and looking around, you'll see a little spot that says mediocre messages. If you click on that, you can leave us a message just like this one right here.
Sounds like this.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Hilton Head BDM. You guys are talking on ACT about someone brought up the healthy wage.
That was that website where you can bet. Mm-hmm. Remember that? Yeah, I just want to clarify that we're not talking about like minimum wage.
Thing, right?
Jillian Michaels, healthy wage. You can
bet on losing weight.
Yeah, basically. Bet on losing weight on this website.
It's been around for years, and you guys automatically call it a scam. But I'm actually the guy, Hilton Head BDM, I'm actually the guy who won when you guys were still in the quarry. I won the weight loss contest. I was one of the 300-pound dudes who, I got down to like 229 and won. I beat that Dallas Cowboys loser. So
not still mad about it, huh?
But I also did the healthy wage, and they paid out too, man. Huh. So it's actually a really cool thing. You can you basically bet. You can say like I'll do like $50 a month for 1 year. You can do 100. You can do 500, whatever you want, and you can win up to $10,000 if you meet your goal. So it's actually pretty cool. It's not a scam in any way, shape, or form. It's legit. It pays out. You can play around with it and see how much you would lose, how much they would pay, depending on how much money you put in. So, check it out. Because there's nothing that makes you want to lose weight like money, right?
Health. I would like to think that being on death's door. Not that I am, but I'm just saying I would like to think, that my doctor talking to me would be like, okay, I gotta make some changes.
That doesn't work.
Only money, huh?
Not even only, believe me, money doesn't work either. What this gentleman, we didn't say it was a scam per se, like they wouldn't pay out. We said it's a scam like casinos are a scam, right? Where the odds are against you.
It's favored to the casino. It's favored to the house.
Yeah. The house has the advantage.
They know most people are not going to lose the weight. Yeah.
So even though you're the exception to the rule or one of the 40% who does take advantage of it, or
would
the 60%.
Would we consider this like an MLM? Because you are recruiting people that are paying in, but they're not necessarily going to get paid out.
Yeah, the multi-level marketing only works when you get paid from the amount of people under you, and it's not even about selling the product, it's about getting the people under you, and then them selling the people under them. Yeah,
but what if that is part of their marketing of like, hey,
it could be.
Get some of your other friends to sign up, and then we'll throw you, some of their pay-in money.
It could be like shades of that, maybe. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it could be like as far as, especially as far as when it comes to word of mouth, you
Right.
know, and like getting people to
Like a
go
sign-up
there.
program.
I guess the difference is,
Like, like sign up a BDM
I haven't even been
and
on
you
the
might get a
website to check
prize.
it out.
Is this guy like a circuit weight loss contestant? Because like
I
they're
think he did it at the same time. I think that's why he said that they also paid out.
Oh,
so
oh,
he got
they did
money
at the same
from
time?
the
Okay.
quarry and from. But then, has this thing been around that long? Healthy wage?
It'd be interesting if there was just a guy out
Yeah,
there
09.
that
Oh wow!
can lose weight extremely effectively, but can gain weight fast, and he just
He skirts the system.
well, he just enters these
I like that.
contests and these radio promotions and stuff, and then he loses the most amount of weight and wins, and just like a circuit girl in bikini contest back in the day.
So how do they do it? A $10,000 top prize.
You bet on yourself, right? It's like you put in the money and then they'll like match it or give you more and if you lose then they keep the money. It's kind of like that, right?
Yeah, but you got to have a lot to lose to be on the hook for a lot of money. So like you're only like you'd have to be pretty unhealthy to get to the 10,000. You see what I'm saying? You can't jump in here just Joe average. If you're
a few pounds overweight.
Yeah, if you're like a dude that like seriously you want to lose like 12 pounds. I mean, good for you, but you're not going to get any big payouts. So it's not. You're right. The hook's not there.
And just like scratch off tickets or the lottery or whatever, if everybody did achieve and win and take advantage of this, this wouldn't be around, right? The fact that this even still exists after this long means that they have the advantage, and even though you think you could do it, math says differently.
And you might be able to do it, but then you might gain it right back.
Well, that's the thing, too. Then there's like
maintaining the weight loss.
Yeah,
because she's also one of the hosts. I don't know if she still is. I haven't watched The Biggest Loser in years, but most of those contestants would lose a bunch of weight on the show, and then as soon as the show was over, they'd gain it all back.
Yeah, and that's what happens and then either slowly or you just fall back into your own ways, old ways.
It's easy to lose weight when you're 24 hours in a facility with a trainer and a chef, and you know what I mean? It's doing basically everything for you, and you're not having to go to work and deal with all that crap.
But even with this looks
your
like...
Your goal must be at least 10% of your current weight for them to even take you.
Okay.
Because I'm filling this thing out. There's no way. If you just want to lose like a couple pounds...
Yeah.
No, it has to be
not for you.
Yeah.
Not for you.
And again, just like gambling and insurance and everything, they know the stats... And that's why they've figured out, like, your goal must be 10% of your current weight because that's what is impossible for people to do, and that's why they have the edge, right?
You got to find somebody. You could find somebody, though, that's really good at this, and it would be possible for them, I think, to skirt the system. If you found like a buddy that you can,
but you could. They only let you apply once, and like there's rules that so you can't just go every year and do it because there's people that can lose extreme amounts of weight. I mean, you could lose water weight in a day. MMA fighters
just
cut
sweat yourself out.
And so anyway, it's all everything they. Any of these companies, they're not stupid. It's all math for them. That's why all these car warranty companies give you a call, and there's so many warranties, and there's so much insurance and all stuff. They're just they have the edge. They make it so they always have the edge, just like casinos. And so if you buy into them, yes, people do end up getting lucky, and then your transmission fails or whatever the hell else, and you get paid out. But that's rare. Most of the time, you just pay it, and they get the money.
Indeed.
And then so that's what it all is. So before you sign up for any of this, just ask yourself, like, there's a reason why this company's doing this because they win more than 60% of the time or whatever.
Right. Correct.
And so, you are going in
also just the sign that they're still in business and their website is as nice as it is, should be signs to you that they are thriving right now with you not losing weight, but you are losing money.
Yeah. When you buy a scratch-off ticket, they're pre-printed. They know exactly how much money they're going to give out and exactly how much money they're going to get.
I had an altercation this morning, related, unrelated. Standing in line trying to buy my Mountain Dew Poison, where there was a man in front of me that wanted a specific type of scratch-off lottery ticket. He was in front of me getting the lottery ticket. I was next in line. He wanted this one particular $5 ticket or $10 ticket, and he saw one that was the similar, but the colors were different. So on the top of it, it said $10,000 grand prize in green, And then the one in the case had $10,000 grand prize in blue. Mm-hmm. And he was dying on the hill. He was like, not gonna, like, the lady was trying to give him a green one. Yeah. And he's like, nah, green's not my color. One. That's not, and he was like attaching like folklore and like ghosts and like his superstition rituals and superstition to it. He was like, nah, green's not my color. And I just sat there. I can understand now why people get mad in these lines. I mean, I got
infuriated yesterday when a lady was in the 10 items or less line.
Yeah.
And she had more than 10 items, but she split them into 2 separate transactions. And I'm like, now it's even longer for me.
This is not the intent of this.
Right.
You're just by splitting it, yes, now.
I like those people, though. I've come full circle on them because they're scamming the system. Like this guy, I almost felt like I wish the lady, and she wasn't going to do it, like they were kind of arguing about, like, he's like, I've never seen him like that. They're supposed to
what do you want me to do? That's all I got.
Yeah, he's like, they're supposed to be green. And she's like, no, I've only got blue ones. And she calls the other lady over. Are these supposed to be blue? They're green. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? They should have a rule in the morning when we're all trying to just get awake and just get a little something to eat. No lottery. I'm sorry. No lottery in the morning. You got to do that because it's not a priority, right? Is that something we all need? I wanted to say, and there was a split second where the chirper and me took over, and I was feeling confident because I had my overalls on. I wanted to turn to the guy and go, like, you're wasting time to lose $10. You're literally wasting all of this time you're not going to win. Scratch it in front of me. Scratch it in front of me so I can prove to myself that all you were doing is wasting time and money in one perfect little package. No lottery in the morning, I'm telling you. It should catch on.
Well, the stores, they need the lottery.
Lottery at night.
They make
lottery at night.
They, the people that buy scratch-off tickets are going to be superstitious.
You can't tell people when to buy their lottery. Then they can tell you when you can buy your Mountain Dews.
That's fine. That's fine. Also, I'd like to point out, I'm very, very quick when I get Mountain Dews. There's no way that guy... In fact, I'm so fast at getting Diet Mountain Dews when I get them that guy would be early if he were behind me. That's how fast I am.
When are they going to start putting self-checkout in, like, Wawas and 7-Elevens?
They need it in Wawa now, because Wawa, they don't know how to run a line.
Soon,
worst, right? Wawa's the worst.
Because people...
All robots.
Will just...
you can do mobile order at Wawa and just go grab your thing off the shelf.
Oh, Ghost says that Wawa's already got self-checkout. He uses it every day.
Okay, well, yeah, then I figured most places are transitioning into that.
Do they have a person there to teach people that use Wawa, because most of them are trash, how to use the line?
What do you mean? Oh, you're back in the line?
They're the worst. Wawa is the worst. They have the worst queue. That's what the British call it. They have the worst.
With Walgreens. Walgreens has the same.
Bad queue as well.
It's the same setup. One on each side.
Yeah.
Just keep it one side.
It's a bad setup. It's just a bad setup. Yes, sir?
I was just saying, there's got to be some... The stores are eventually just going to turn into you walk in and then you get your stuff and then leave, and then it calculates through your phone or whatever else. Like, know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to turn into that, right?
Where I think so.
There's an easier buy and go process. You don't have to interact with anyone. Self-checkout is close.
Going on what you're saying, though, let's take the scenario I'm bitching about and apply what you're saying. Had it been self-checkout, this guy would have had no recourse to talk to somebody about the color of the lottery ticket being different. So, yeah, it would have sped it up for me, right? Because no human there, nobody to ask. Either get a ticket or don't, or move on. You know what I mean?
Like, there's going to be a human, and especially for lottery, because don't you have to be 18 to buy those?
You do.
Well, they have the machines now, and you can walk up to them if you were a kid.
That's true. They don't verify it at the machines, do they?
Well, no. I mean, I guess if they're looking at you, they're like, hey, kid, get they can yell at you if they want.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, no one really cares about the rules.
You can't, quote-unquote, redeem it unless you're 18.
Correct.
Yeah. And that's what, and then if they could prove that under 18-year-old bought it, they won't give it to you. That's another thing,
too. That's true.
Like,
they love that.
How about just put all the lottery and scratch-offs in a machine?
I'm okay with that. Just speed it up.
Then you don't have to even worry about them holding up the line. They got their own machine line.
Yeah, like, again, this isn't about him not getting his lottery. Get your lottery, brother, and I hope you win. It's about it was a
number one line holder upper is a lottery scratch-off person.
And I want you to get your lottery. In fact, I want you to get it faster. That's inexcusable. You should not have had to do that. You should, and he was like talking about how often he plays it. He knows the colors, and I'm like, oh my God, we're going to be here forever.
There are like probably a lot of things that we just assume and this happens all the time in society, and this brings me to masks, because I feel like before the pandemic, if there's a lot of rules in particular stores, or you can't wear masks inside. Because they were worried about getting robbed or whatever,
which was all BS.
Well, then, you know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden we turn into a world where wear a mask everywhere.
Only wear a mask
and
inside.
And then guess what? The robberies didn't go up.
No.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. People were wearing masks in banks. Nothing happened, right?
No.
Because guess what? No one's just going to wear a mask, walk in the bank, and be like, I'm going to rob this. No one starts robbing places on a whim, right?
Just because you can wear a mask.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but that's what society had always told us, back. We're like, hey, you can't wear a mask in a bank, or you can't walk into 7-Eleven or a convenience store or a gas station with a mask on. You're crazy. And then so that didn't happen. So then I bet a lot of other things that we do about verifying people's ID when buying alcohol and stuff like that, that
I don't think I've been...
underage drinking happens anyway.
I don't think I've been
It's just
carded. Honestly, guys, I don't think I've been carded one time during the pandemic. 2 years of doing this.
I got carded a ton, and I'm like, do you want me to take my mask down? They're like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, I could just not be who I am on my ID, but...
Now, I do get a dumb old man card for being a regular at my ABC.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they know me, but I haven't been carded in the entire duration of the pandemic.
We're moving towards a society where everything just goes through your phone and your credit cards and everything, and then your phone and your purchasing, they know how the age you are, no one has to verify.
Know
you know
if
what I'm saying?
You think there'll be a system where as soon as I walk in, they look on their little, tablet or whatever they're using, and they instantly know, oh, it's Dan Dennis,
Probably.
And,
maybe in the far enough future, but even with the, if everything's bought through your smartphone, your credit card, your driver's license is going to be on there, your account or whatever. So it's when you purchase alcohol, there's no need to verify your age because it's you purchasing it. They know you're over 21 because, something like that. And then the people will think, well, there may be a spike in underage drinking because what if that person uses their parents' phone or whatever, and then it turns out okay, that doesn't happen. Just like the mask thing.
Yeah.
No one starts. There's not a huge uptick in robberies.
Not a thing. Not a thing at all.
Yeah. All right. Bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here, and should we just jump?
Yeah,
do you want to
let's
jump right into it? Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Weird Job Wednesday. Dad really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. It's so weird. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? So fat. You make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour. Fat people. It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Most of them are fat. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. This Wednesday's so weird. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Still fat. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. He's not fat, but he was when we did our documentary. But now he's jacked and quite the sneaky snack.
I still laugh at that time that we had the gentleman sitting on the couch for a weird time.
Oh, why are you bringing
and
this
he didn't know the show, but he was brought in by a BDM or whatever, and he was a bigger gentleman. And then we're playing the intro. I'm looking at his eyes, had the headphones on. I'm like, we're not talking about you.
Did we have another one? Did we have a secondary one that was
we had a lot.
Slobs are for America.
Pariah Mike was doing a bunch of them.
Yeah. We got to go back to doing some custom.
Pariah Mike didn't go as heavy on the fat slobs as I did.
He only made fun of Tom the most.
Yeah. You like making fun of me.
So
does Melissa. So does everybody that we do
End of the year awards.
I don't like it anymore.
No, I like it because
I like making fun of Butler. That's good. All
Can't do that no more.
Yeah. God.
I texted him the other day because his son biz came through, and then I was like, "Hey, your son biz."
Tell him to put our mail key in
where's
there.
my tax info?
Yeah, Butler's got it. It's with our mail key. He said he was going to mail it to us, but I don't know.
His business card still active. I'm serious.
Bastard.
It's still active. I am not going to turn it off. I'm just gonna see how long.
Well, look, if
this
he-
is a new turn.
I would
daylight savings.
I would never forgive myself if somebody who worked here got out in a situation where they had an emergency and they didn't have any of their own money and I didn't provide them with my business card even though they quit. I would never forgive myself. So we're just good people. Let's get to it.
Yeah, Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Streamline Mortgage Solutions, streamlineflorida.com.
Mm-hmm.
Call Brian Zyma on his team if you want to refi. The rates are going up. I heard something on the news the other day.
Do it now.
So if you're going to call them now and just see your options, before you have to pay a higher interest rate.
Indeed.
Refi now. Anyway, on the line with us, we've got Alan. How you doing, Alan?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Good, man. Hey, thanks for the time. You're an extremely respectful person, and Sam pointed that out to us. She said, this guy on the line, he's very respectful. I got the yes, ma'am, and he was on time and very nice, so we appreciate that, sir.
I appreciate it.
So, Alan, what do you do?
So I own a demolition/floor scraping company that does insurance demo. So if the house floods or catches fire, or let's say like a hurricane, mold, anything like that, restoration-wise, I go in there and I demo it out and get it prepped for the next guy. So like if there's a big storm, let's say a hurricane, if a good hurricane hits, I leave, I go wherever that hurricane hits, and then I do the cleanup, just pulling everything out to the main road.
So,
depending on what they call for. Sometimes they call for a 1 foot cut, so the whole house has to be cut 1 foot up, 2 foot, 4 foot through the whole house.
So that depends on how much flood water got into your house, because it soaks up the drywall, right? So then you have to cut all the drywall out and everything, right?
That sucks.
Yes, sir.
Man, so
isn't there
Don't call Tom sir. That makes me feel weird.
I don't deserve it, Alan. I don't
I'm trying
deserve.
to get you ready for your boys, so you can hear it when your boys say it to you.
Oh, look at this guy. He's on your side. This is a person that doesn't want to make fun of you. There's one out there.
I told my sons to call me yes. I'm like, say sir. And they're like, yes, sir. They'll say it, and then I'm like, and then we all laugh. I'm like, and I'm like, we all know I don't deserve that respect. What have I done?
Yeah.
But
It's like,
what have I shown
it's
you?
It's like in that video when you see like a monkey discharge a firearm, because they eventually figured it out, and then they are like, they get all excited because they know they're not supposed to be doing it, and they don't understand it, but they did it, and they get really excited.
And it's just by accident. Like it can't do it again.
It's just, to them, it's just a noise.
So, Alan, so how long does it take you, like, let's say you get a house that got flooded, it goes 1 foot, you get the order 1 foot up the wall, and what does that take to pull everything out? Do you pull all the furniture?
From like the windows to the walls.
The cabinets?
Like,
sweat.
Come on. Skeet.
Come on.
Whatever. So let's say, okay, so last week I just got done doing a 1 foot cut foot of the whole house, and it was actually a sewer backup. So all the furniture, all the carpet, all the baseboards, the drywall.
Hey, we got to throw out this beanbag chair.
The beanbag chair definitely has to go. So Cat 3 is usually, like I said, it's usually a sewer
That was a
backup.
crap 3.
Yeah, crap 3 for sure. So it took me 2 days just because I had other stuff I had to do with the first day. But a normal full house, let's say 1,800 square foot, takes me a day by myself to cut the measure out and cut everything. We use Hepovacs and stuff like that, multi-tools that can cut the drywall easier and smoother.
Gotcha.
So you do this by yourself? You don't have a crew of pain pill guys?
Yeah, you should have like
no pain pills on my job.
What? You need
they work the hardest because they want the money for the pills.
They're in pain.
I mean, on those pills, they are virtually unstoppable. You can't even kill them.
And they'll work so hard to get the whatever the $50 that day to get more pain pills for the next day.
And trust me, if they're desperate and you got pills in your pocket, you can make them do anything, even like naughty things. You can make them be naughty for you if you want to.
But they are unreliable.
Yeah,
unreliable. They're good for that one day. Once you pay them, they disappear. Trust me, I've I've gone through all of that.
And they always have crazy stories that you're like, you were in jail 2 hours ago?
Yeah, man.
How are you here?
Yeah, hitched a ride on a bread truck. Like they always got
oh
there.
my God.
They got there in a very odd way.
Like,
Yes.
your wife is in the emergency room? Why?
If I go out for a hurricane, then I'll bring a crew with me, about 4 guys. That way, because you get zoned out a neighborhood. So let's say a hurricane came, took out your neighborhood, Tom. We would come in 4 strong, 11 hours a day, 7 days a week, man, until the job's done, ripping out everything. And then once that's done, we just keep moving on.
Have you found that when you were dabbling with some of the workers who were addicted to pain pills, that your hardest workers have mysterious bandages? They're covered in mysterious. Have you noticed this, Tom? Some of the strongest people I'll meet, like I'll meet people out there and you'll look at them, you can tell they're good workers, but they're covered
or just
in
open sores.
Yeah, open sores or mysterious bandages.
Those are diabetes sores.
All right, didn't know that.
Or the meth scratches.
Yeah.
Like, how are you so out of shape? All you do is work for 12 hours a day, hard as you work. Like, you are doing more exercise than anybody I know, and somehow still
30 beers at the end of the day they power chug.
30 beers.
This job takes a lot out of you, Papa.
I know.
Out of you.
Oh
my God, that's funny.
So, have you ever been like demoing a house and then found
like a bag of money?
Yeah, found any valuables or whatever,
or something
like,
you shouldn't. Like you're cutting a wall open, you find a baby back there or something.
The craziest thing that I found is like little knickknacks, man. Because when I will do a junk out. Like even if a bank calls me up for a foreclosure, or someone left all their stuff in the house, I have to go in there and gut it, throw everything out for the next tenant. Sometimes you'll find the flare guns. You'll find a lot of pipes. You damn sure find
pipes and flare guns. Who knew that crackheads? Like, I'm gonna smooth this rock and then I'm gonna let everybody know where I'm at.
Usually the people that are the family members come in there and take all the guns and
give me those flare guns.
The flare guns are in the weird spots. Just I don't know why.
Put the flare gun in the freezer, you idiot.
I found a few actually of the flare guns.
Weird. Why do people have flare guns?
I don't know. Why do people believe in dowsing rods?
They can't have a gun.
He's right.
You know what I'm saying?
You can defend yourself with a bright orange boating flare gun. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to start carrying a flare gun.
I never would have thought of that.
Sam, let's start carrying flare guns, but let's open carry. I'm going to put mine right under my chest like a detective. I'm going to open carry a flare gun, and ain't nobody going to do anything about it. Kid Rock, we the people.
Can you open carry a flare gun?
I'm going to do it. I'm doing it
in a holster. Can we all carry flare guns on our sides, like on a holster? Into public.
Yeah, we're the flare gang.
Instead of say you're coming back from the boating trip.
Yeah, we're the flare gang, and we always carry our flare guns. We the people.
Also,
can't tell me how to live.
If someone was pointing a flare gun at me, I would hold off. You know what I mean? You don't get a shot with a flare gun.
It's unpredictable. It could kill all of us.
Like I don't think it'll kill you, but it will hurt. As shooting a flaming ball at you, right?
You know, my dad let me shoot the flare gun out of his boat one time, and it's a very special memory I have. I love you, Dad. Awesome. I miss my dad. I love you, Dad, and thank you for letting me shoot that flare gun because flare guns are cool, dude.
I think that's the only thing you've done that I've never done.
Yes, I'm little flare Danny. Let's all get flare guns and holsters. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I've never shot a flare gun. I want to.
You've also never slept with more than one woman.
Oh, I've done that. I've done that a lot. They call that the flare gun. It's good. Things are flaring. Flare it up.
Oof.
Alan, we're going to start investigating this whole flare gun phenomenon because I've never heard of it.
This is why this is the best bit, and this is why Alan rules, is because how would you find out that he's like, you know what, come to think of it, I have found an odd amount of flare guns on the job site. Who would think that?
Like, if you're a felon, you can't legally own a firearm, you just get a flare gun because you want a gun.
Do you paint it black, though?
You got to feel the metal.
Do you paint it? You got to feel the steel. Do you paint it black or do you keep it bright orange?
You keep it on.
These are all. One was painted black, and then the other one was actually like a chrome looking. But he just had painted it chrome. He didn't. It wasn't coming out.
Oh, he went to Joanne Fabrics. Got it like a doing like a science report. You go and you buy the chrome spray paint, and you spray it on an old Adidas shoebox.
So Alan, do you ever think about getting a crew so you don't have to do this hard ass work? Because I imagine
they steal all the flare guns, man.
You sound like you're around our age, and doing this hard ass work every day. Does it take a toll on your body?
I've been doing it for 6 years, all by myself, man. And I'll get guys if I'm up on a scaffolding and I have to cut a whole house down. But, with Sawzall and stuff like that, just because it's in between two other houses. And, I could get a machine and rip it down like that, but sometimes with the insurance companies, you can't, if there's brick walls, those brick walls have to stay. It's just the roof has to come with all the drywall inside. Man, I've thought multiple times, and I am at that point now where my name is so reliable that I'm trying to get a good set of crew members, but just like everyone else is dealing with, man, it's hard to find it. The people that are the good workers own their companies, so at the end of the day, you just have to keep on moving. And, I ended up buying a floor scraper machine last year to supplement me not having a worker to get the jobs done faster and stuff like that, so...
Alan, let's talk about finding workers, especially in your type of field. And I've talked to plenty of people that are, in home repair, construction, contractor, flooring, air conditioning, all these. When you get more skilled labor, it's different. But it's just when you're trying to find people that will work manual labor and as helpers or whatever. I've heard the same story for years. It's just impossible to find a reliable person that shows up. They just end up, for whatever reason, not showing up. And it's just and then the ones that are really good, you'll be like, oh, you'll be gone because there's no way you're gonna, you're gonna go start
take your business.
Yeah, you're gonna start your own business. Yeah.
It's exactly what I've heard.
Exactly.
So how do you?
That's my fear. Yeah. Is that they get inside with what I do. They learn all my companies and stuff like that I work for, because I work for 11 companies throughout the state of Florida. I'll go to Jacksonville, to Tallahassee, to Tampa, to Daytona, down to Orlando. I was in Tavares Monday, so Gainesville yesterday. I have a big house fire in Gainesville I'm doing right now. But finding help, man, like you said, once you get them to check, man, they're gone. They're gone, and they're either getting arrested or they're going on a crack binge, man, or a pill binge or a heroin binge or something like that. And then they'll call you back in a couple of weeks. Well, I've already lost respect for you. You said, because it's all about your word at the end of the day. You say you're going to be there, you got to be there.
Alan, I got the idea. You pay them in pain pills. That's how you keep them around.
I said that. You got to have leverage.
Because you give them money.
I'll pay them in blunt. That's fine with me.
Pay me in blunt.
Yeah. Blunts don't... if you stop smoking blunts, you don't start doodling your pants. You need heroin.
And blunt, trust me, I've done blunts and I've done pain pills, and one of those, not blunts, makes you work fast. The other one makes you hungry and kind of cool, makes you mellow out.
Make you lose your hammer.
Yeah, but if you give me, you want to know why I walked around the Millennium Mall wearing sunglasses at 100 miles an hour? Is because I was on pain pills.
Yeah, crack and pain pills are where the manual labor's at.
Yeah.
Marijuana will make you forget where your measuring tape is. You'll be wandering
You'll
around.
Get creative. You're like, oh, I put the nails in a pattern. You're like, oh, get out of here.
Where's my glove? Alan, we'll end with this. I'm always fascinated by how much insurance companies pay.
Yeah.
When I hear they pay that much. Oh my God. And so how much does an insurance company pay you for a random, let's say 1 foot cut up house flood? What do you get paid for that kind of job?
All right, so on just say that job that I just got done, I pulled out $1,300.
All right,
that's for everything. I didn't have to mess with the kitchen. So, but on a full house, but let's say up in Gainesville, I have a full house, at 1,800 square foot house. That job's going to pay me $7,000. I'll be done with it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, but that's
by
lot.
myself.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks of straight hard-ass work
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
but he
day.
can manage it, and there's something to be said about that.
No.
Like, even when I have a hard job in front of me, if it's just me and I know how to do it, sometimes that's peace of
Yes,
mind
sir.
in that.
Yeah.
Is it? Do you get? You can organize it the way you want to, and you know your workflow and how fast you can work, right?
Yes, sir. And then just like Dan said, you know what I know how to. Like right now, I'm actually ripping out a bathroom right now for a client down here in Wildwood. So, this job will take me 2 hours, and it's going to pay me $500.
All right.
Yeah, so there's a give and
ebbs and
take.
flow.
Yeah,
some
yeah.
are better than others, but
I like that
Yeah, of course.
you
There's
kind of
some jobs that pay
control
you
it.
crap.
Yeah, I like that you kind of
sir.
control it. So if you're having a good day, you can haul ass and work fast.
And
if you're not feeling so great, you can still work, but control the level of amount of effort you want to put in. That's kind of cool.
And you're in the right side of construction in the terms of you don't have to deal with some Karen telling you that
Yes.
you didn't do this right. I can still see this, the space here. They're complaining about your work. Once you demo everything, no one's complaining about what it looks like after you do your job. The insurance pays you, and
like
you're
it.
out. Right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, because once I'm demoing, there's someone else come back and put it all together. I have contractors for that.
Yeah, and that's
They
the
don't-
pain in the ass. Yeah.
And that's why really I succeed in this, because these contractors can't find the workers that are clean. Because I'm a clean guy, so I'm not walking in here with stinking the high heaven of cigarette smoke and booze. You know what I mean? So these customers, they all respect me a little bit more, and the contractors, that's what they want. They want a worker, but at the end of the day, they got to pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like if in the future, I mean, because it seems like the bar set pretty low. It's like, okay, you're not drunk and on pain pills, like you're the best worker around.
Yeah.
That's
You're
the
the
bar.
guy.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You're
Pretty
the guy.
much. Yeah, you keep your clean. Oops, sorry. You keep clean and stuff like that, then you're good, man. Money's gonna flow. As long as you stick with your word, man.
Well, Alan, thanks for doing a weird job today. Good luck
sir.
with everything. You're a real man. You'll be more fulfilled than I ever will.
What are you giving him a reading right now?
No.
In 3 days?
You do hard work at the end. You're
I
like,
see a
I see
baby
this.
in your
Your son's
future."
respect. You're good, Alan.
Alan, we like it. Go ahead, man.
No, you're good. I'm listening.
Well, I was just
We're just wrapping it
look.
up.
I was just going to make it. Nothing I say is important, Alan. Trust me.
I'm sorry, Papa.
What do you pop up?
Old.
All right, Alan. We'll see you later. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. See ya.
You shut your mouth, you little old man. He told me. That's awesome. He was great. That was a good one. Sometimes when people reschedule, you end up getting a good dude. I just like that guy's demeanor. He was real man with sense of humor, though. That's a unicorn. When you get the real man who's not got the overly grumpy, most real men are overly grumpy. This guy, he had a little bit of fun loving in there.
I'm familiar with real men because.
Are you now?
Yeah.
Are you now?
And they all have a sense of humor. You have to get past. You got to get
Okay,
joking
that's
with
fair.
them.
You
know what
gotta
I'm
get past
Yeah,
the-
because they're
they got a
stone
wall
cold. They got a
Yeah,
wall.
they got a wall
Once you
up.
get past that wall, they'll tell you the jokes.
Build that wall.
Good
Yeah.
jokes.
Exactly.
All right. Bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Our next guest, very popular one that he came in for the first time about 3 to 4 weeks ago.
We didn't even really plug it. We didn't say much about it, but he seemed to resonate, I believe, with our listeners and viewers.
Yep. Kratom Carey's here. How you doing, Carey?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Super duper.
So how has the book been selling? The Taxi Chronicles. You can purchase it where, Carey?
Purchase everywhere, but basically people are doing it on Amazon.
Okay.
It's easiest to get to. It has, it does well.
I know our buddy
Amazon's
Norm
got
bought
that
it.
Delivery down.
Yeah.
They got that
Let me tell you, their delivery, when your book starts selling well, your deliveries get there quicker. I just noticed that. And my deliveries are getting there within 2 days.
And you said it's Amazon? Amazon.
Amazon.
Write that down.
Amazon.
Write that down.
With an N.
You can order that.
There's an N on the end of that. Amazon.
So,
No.
Carrie, I started reading your book because I know that.
Oh, yeah, I read it.
Yeah, and Samantha
Well,
read.
Samantha, I thought it was kind of rude that you were in the middle of reading it when
Snatched it.
Samantha sort of snatched it.
Well, I did say you gotta read like I
Like,
got,
oh my God,
I got
Tom
one
can't read.
paragraph. Yeah.
Tom's like, he's got a book.
I was browsing through. I was like getting some stuff.
He was
and,
looking for pictures. And,
No pictures.
And then
He wanted boobs.
And then I'm like, "Say you gotta
He's
check
looking
this
for
out."
boobs.
I'm a leg man myself.
Yeah, it's a leg man carry.
So I will ask you one question because the book basically goes over your experience being a taxi driver during the recession.
Correct.
And in the book you outlined how much like the taxi business, and it was like I'd never heard this before, but
It's a peek behind the big yellow curtain of the taxi driving.
you weren't. And then I got to ask you
Industry.
about Uber, Carrie, because I was
He
like,
hates Uber. Don't talk about it.
I was like, Uber, did it exist at this time? I'm
No.
pretty-
No.
not.
What was it, 2008?
No, 2008 recession. Lost my job. Looked in the paper. Found how get at least 70. It says at least $125 a week. Oh, I can do that. Taxi.
Well,
So-
that's the bit. That's what I was going to ask you about. So you rent the taxi for
Tasky?
Tasky
The Tasky.
He's drunk.
for.
This guy's drunk.
Is it $125 a day?
Yes, you go in there negative 125. Negative.
So just from jump, you're already in the hole.
You have your name there on the in the computer,
Yeah.
and it's negative 125.
So you got to work that off first.
You got to work that off first. You got anything. So anything that you bring in, any drive, say from here to there is $16. That starts taking off that 125. Then you get a tip, starts taking off. By 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, that's off. So anything from like 5, mine was 10 to 10. So for the last 4 hours was all profit. So you had to try to hustle, get all you can to get the money, to get money.
See, when I drove, I did a little bit differently than Carrie did it. I would hustle to make the original that I was in on, right? The 125.
Yeah.
And then I just chill the rest of the time.
yeah.
Because
And you're
I'm
like, it's done now.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm done. Got my work done.
Then you sit under a tree.
Yeah. Sleep.
No, I had to make the money. It's always about the money.
Speaking of trees.
Yes, let's talk. Samantha,
And let's also not give out all the plot points.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
still
yeah.
wants to sell the books. Let's try our best to not be an EJ here and spoil it.
So
This is Taxi's No Way Home.
Samantha, since she did read the whole book, wrote down some stuff.
She's got questions for you.
Yeah, and there was, and Samantha told me about a lightning
Yeah,
experience.
so you didn't
right?
directly get hit by lightning, right? It was
No, I was
very
walking
close
down,
to you.
walking down the 18th hole, and I was getting to the green, and I had the putter in my hand, and thank God I was holding on to the rubber grip, and my hair started standing up on my. This was all within a quarter of a second. My hair started standing up, my arms, my neck, and then there was a palm tree about 15, 20 feet away that got struck by lightning, and my putter flew off my hand, hit that. I went up in the ground and landed on my back.
It blew you off the feet. or your feet.
Blew me off the ground.
It
man.
blew the putter out of his hand.
Blew the putter out of my hand. And so I woke up in an ambulance, and
Where's my putter? I need my putter.
what happened? But I felt okay, and they kept saying, "You okay?" And I said, "I'm okay."
Now, were any of the personalities within you, the Jerry Lewis, the Clint Eastwood,
Yeah.
Sean
Sean Connery,
were they saying anything?
Well, my
like,
question was, did you already develop these characters prior to the lightning strike?
Of course, of course, as you read,
And then this just amplified it.
and amplified.
Okay,
it. Yeah, I was put in a room. I'm a babysitter. My parents would go out to drink. I'm in a room. Babysitter is the television. I learned everything from the television. I said, well, I like him, and I tried to emulate him.
great.
Jonathan Winters, all these guys.
Tom's making 2 Kratom carries. Great job. You got a Kratom carry factory at your house.
Yeah.
Great job.
I'm writing this down. You could just leave and go out to drink and just
Yeah.
leave your kids watching TV.
Totally.
My sons will just sit there and watch it the entire time.
Put on
But you-
Nickelodeon, too.
And then they'll
No,
start
YouTube.
creating characters.
Let me tell you something that's cool. Okay, I've been now known as Kratom Carey.
Yes.
I'm getting emails and different things sent to me about Kratom Carey. People got to realize they think that I was doing Kratom in 2008, and that's why Clinton and all them were coming out. This is not true. I didn't start doing Kratom until about 6 months ago. So they've got to know that this was me. Just the
Kratom again just amplifies the voices.
Well, today
the lightning amplifies the voices.
Yeah.
The Kratom amplifies the voices. The series of samurai swords, your samurai sword collection, amplifies the voices.
You've got to understand that I am a crazy person. I'm a nut.
Okay, all right. I wasn't aware. I'll write that
down. Write that down.
All right, write that down.
Other than the Kratom, are you currently on any medication?
Amazon crazy.
Okay.
As you read the book, you saw that I had several mental.
Yeah, but you also said you didn't want to go to the doctor, so I just wanted to. I didn't know if you
what
were.
do they know, Carrie? I'm with you. Every time
Fauci.
That's
what I said.
Here's how difficult it was in 2008. I had to work every day in order to bring money in to pay my rent.
Yeah.
If I went to a doctor and told them I was doing these voices and everything else, they're going to say, well, you should not work anymore and lay in bed and take this medication that's going to make you, how some of these medications.
I know. The doctor's like, what kind of pills you going to give me? Give me those stupid doctor. You give me the other pills. I'm not taking it.
So I'm having fun out there doing these characters. Anyway,
you're not hurting anybody.
It's like Kanye. Kanye's like, if I take the medication, I'm not going to be able to make this brilliant music anymore. So I have to let it free.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to say that I didn't do the Kratom in 2008. And I do kava, relax, so forth, and the Healthy Buddha is where I'm going to have my book signing. Thank God FedEx is going to have them here. My books tomorrow. I was freaking out.
What happened?
They kept everybody else is getting the books in 2 days, and I'm waiting a week, 2 weeks. They just sent me a thing to be here Friday, so I will have books for the book signing Friday at Healthy Buddha. 345 North Orange Avenue between 3 and 5. They are great, okay? All the Healthy Buddhas are calm. They have herb drinks. They've got all organic. It's just a wonderful place.
Well, they got Kratom. That's all I want. They're for the Kratom.
Herb drinks are great.
There's a Kratom?
There's a herb
Kratom?
You can put the Kratom in some tab. Put the Kratom in a squirt. Put the Kratom in orange soda. I don't care.
There's all types of Kratom. There's some to make you calm your pain, some to make you speak a lot, some to make you have a lot of fun.
How about
that's the one I want, Carrie.
I want.
Why would I want the other? I want the fun one.
You know a lot about this. I need a Kratom that puts a little more lead in the pencil, if you know what I mean.
Lead in the pencil. Let me see. That's up on the top right shelf, over to the left.
All right.
It says lead in pencil. That's all you got to do.
All right.
That sounds crazy, but I'm in.
So Carrie, Samantha also read some other stories that we wanted to ask you about.
Can she not ask for herself?
You had a lot.
Are you
I'm setting her up.
Okay, all right.
Because a lot of things happened while you were driving this taxi. It's crazy the amount of experiences you went through. So, what are some other ones?
Well, I don't want to give away all the stories, like we said, because he's already given us so much the last episode.
No. Well, you got to read the details of the book. We're just giving you a.
See, what I wanted you to do is when I was doing it, as I did my personalities on television, I felt when I did the voice and it sounded just like that person, I felt like I was that person. I had the enjoyment. He made me laugh. I did that voice just like he did.
Can you summon these voices? Can you draw them out of you at any, or do they have to find a natural way out?
And here's the thing. I'm not super good at them, but I'm good enough in my brain to think that I am.
That you're pulling it off.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's
like
what I
me.
do.
I'm just good enough in the mirror to keep going another day. I'm like, well, not that ugly. Won't kill myself today.
But don't put me on pressure here to bring a few out.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't do that. If Jay-Z were here, I'm not going to say, hey, can you freestyle?
If I had 4 cups of coffee, I would be doing Jim Carrey. I would be doing.
You do Jim Carrey? I didn't even know Carrey.
I didn't even know Carrey was in there.
but yeah. So the question, what was the question that you had, Sam?
Oh no, I was you had actually fallen for one of your customers at one point.
Oh yes, I'll talk about it because it was really cool. Yeah, I had picked up a girl, a beautiful girl, and she asked me to take her to work.
The leaf blowers here.
Yeah, every time.
The leaf blowers. I'm saying, how? Carrie, I'm going to have to pause you for just a second.
No.
We'll get back to it. I promise.
Yes, it happened again.
But I was explaining to my wife when I was telling about the first time you were here. I was explaining to my wife about you being here, and I go, you got to really dig into this interview and listen to the nuances, because there's some nuances in the first Kratom Carey interview that's phenomenal, where we have a man blowing leaves on the front of our studio, and he does it for a solid 20 minutes. And this guy's going to do it, right? He's going to come up here. He's going to start blowing the leaves for 20 minutes.
How did it happen?
No, there's a pressure washer out there.
Oh, it's a pressure washer.
That's what I was going to come in and tell you guys.
Yeah.
And it's a pressure washer there.
They already cleaned it.
It's almost like Carrie has
And
some
it's
sort of
moving.
magnetic power,
It's
like
moving.
powder.
Yes,
The lightning.
it's moving this way too. I saw him in the back.
God,
there.
it's moving this way. We're going to need you to help. We're going to need you to do something.
Oh,
Carrie.
yeah. Clint's going to have to get out there.
But anyway, back to this. Back to this beautiful woman.
Okay, yeah.
She
Well,
started. She was crying. She was crying. She goes.
She's crying?
Yeah, she goes, I need to go and buy a cat. I lost my cat. I need a cat. I need a cat. So
I'll help you find your pussy.
Yeah, I'll find it for you. I'll find it for you.
I'm a good pussy finder, I am.
Yes, you are.
Sean Connery.
Yes, yes. But I took her to the ASPCA.
Pushing boots.
Found a pussy for her.
Doesn't work when you sing.
Swear to God. Yeah, she was great. It was great. But we came back, and she was happy.
Okay.
Then she said, "Could you take me to work?" And I said, "Of course." And then she worked at the doll. She worked at the dollhouse.
Whoa, hey!
Okay.
I got my first handy at the doll.
So I've been to the doll. Now this is my second customer to the dollhouse.
I wonder if it was the same girl. Small world.
So I would.
Was it in 2008?
I would take her. She would go. She was the day shift. She would go at 12.
Day shift. Oh, louder.
That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
You have to start there to work your way
Here's
that's
the
not.
thing.
It doesn't work like that.
Oh, okay.
If you are beautiful,
There's the word.
Skip that part.
I thought it was like you worked your way up.
And I wrote it down. Anagalopoli.
anagalactic shock.
No, it's the fear of beautiful women.
Oh, you got that?
And it's a true thing. Fear of beautiful women. You stutter, you sweat, you can't talk, and that's me.
Hold on, I got
You
that.
got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got anagalactic.
So Sean and Clint are up there laughing because they're not going to come out and help me.
Oh.
They're going to make me suffer. I was stuttering.
They're bullying.
But some people like shy and stuttering people, and she did. She must have had a father complex or something. But
right.
She gave me a kiss and said, "You're nice," because all the other cabbies are slobs.
I like you, dumb grandpa.
But
I've seen these shows.
Now,
they're into it.
Now that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to ruin
You
things
got to read.
that happen.
You got to read the book.
Yeah, you got to find out what
There's
happened.
some things that happen crazy at the end.
Yeah.
Crazy the whole time.
And like, is it because of the area you were driving around in, Carrie, that you tend to pick up these characters? Because it seemed like you were getting yourself into a lot of situations, and these characters were getting your tab. Or does this happen to every?
It had like a lunatic.
He makes a great point, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of like on our show, we talk about the funny stuff or the things that are interesting. When you pick up just a boring grandma, there's nothing to talk about, why would you put that in the book?
Right.
So he's going to write about the crazy stories that happen.
Exactly, and I said that in there. There were.
You guys are so
We're
connected.
right here.
I mean,
me and Carrie right
I
here.
see the.
She got it.
I
picked up 500 people, and I put in the ones that were interesting in there. You would not want to walk about it.
I picked up the grandma today, and I took her to Publix, waited for her to come out with her chicken, and
No, I'm not going to put that in there.
Yeah.
So-
Only the interesting story.
That was pretty good. What happened?
Are you still practicing any of your martial arts that you picked up?
No, I'm not. Right
No,
now,
okay.
believe it or not,
Yes.
I am driving for Uber Eats right now.
Are you really?
Oh, back in the game.
No.
Dusting off the hands. Put the gloves
Why
back
not
on.
regular Uber? Because that's your game, Carrie.
Jason Statham is the transporter.
Because I just want to go pick up food and deliver it. Pick up food because I had surgical on my neck and I didn't work for 6 months. I'm getting back in the game of doing roofing and my sales and all that.
Roofing?
No, don't do that.
Wait a minute.
Hold on, why'd you pick the hardest thing to
That's
do?
so terrible.
I don't get up on the roof. I
you
just
sell
tell
roofs.
people.
I know what it is. Kratom.
Okay.
Kratom.
No, I have a lot of credit.
Roof, kratom,
If you
kratom.
do a lot of
You gotta do that.
kratom, I'll just fly up to the roof.
He knows. This guy blinking knows.
If I see you flying on a roof.
And a little pixie dust. A little pixie dust.
Oh, God, he's coming to get me.
Old Peter Pan's up there doing it again.
Little pixie dust. Come on up here with me. Come on. Come on.
He's sprinkling kratom on my roof.
But so I'm doing Uber Eats right now. I'm in a transition. The house I rented was sold, so I'm looking for a place. I'm getting healing and finding some contacts to get roofs and such. So I have to make some side money. I'm doing Uber Eats.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
But let me tell you, it has there's a little button on there you can push to be the driver. I'm going to do Uber Eats now, and I haven't pushed that driver yet because I'm too scared to.
He doesn't want the personalities to come out because the trigger of the personalities is what they're familiar with, which is driving. Now we're right here. Don't hit the button. Whatever you do.
I have. It's not a dark cloud over me. It's just a weird. It's a weird thing that the power of attraction. I seem to attract strange and weird people, which is not a bad thing. But I'm going to tell you this story.
Okay.
And this happened the other day.
Okay.
And if he finds me, he might. But anyway, I'm looking for a room.
I'm sorry.
Well, that could be anything. That could be anything. It could be. You could give me a winning lottery ticket.
I'm looking for a room on Craigslist. Okay. and I go. I swear to God, he says. I said, huh? I said, is it? This is Eric. I said,
hello, Eric. This is Sean Condry.
Yeah, you put an ad for a room in this giant. Here's a mansion, and I said, he says, my name is Eric, and I'm the owner of the house, and I will. He says,
Eric Trump.
I was a felon. I was a felon for 8 years. I've got tattoos, but the room, blah 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 blah. And I said, shh. Okay, let's go on this little draw. Let's play out this whole scenario and see what's going on.
Let's go on a little mind drive, Eric.
So
you ready? Strap in, Eric, because we're going on a mind
so
drive.
I go in there, and here's this little guy about 5'5" with a little dog here.
Hold on, that's me.
He's got tattoos.
Did he have a pee-pee dog?
He's got
that was
tattoos
you?
all over
You
the
showed
place.
up at the mansion?
Yes.
Okay.
And so there's a tree. It's a Christmas tree in there. He says, I have to have the Christmas tree in the house at all times because I had a bad childhood, and it reminds me
Pause for a second.
Of Christmas.
I still have my tree out. 5'2", hold the pee-pee dog.
Hold on.
But anyway, let me just do real quick. The room was great. Everything is great, but it has his roommates. It were crazy. I'm trying. I said, I got to get out of here. But
these guys are crazy.
I said,
I want to be these guys. I gotta get the hell out of here. Gotta get them on the arcade.
Here's the caveat. Here's the caveat. I wanted to try to bond with him, and I said, well, I did it.
Let's do some kratom, guys.
Close. What happened? I told him, I
Let's
said,
suck each other's
Come on.
That's the third time you come up with man. That's the third time.
obsessed.
Okay.
Get him first.
Yeah. So I talked to him. I said, well, listen, I got a book coming out, and I'm thinking about Kratom. I'm going to Healthy Buddha with Kratom. He says, Kratom? You do Kratom? I go, oh, yeah.
Do it.
He says, he goes to his refrigerator, I swear to God, pulls out a bag about this big.
In the refrigerator?
Yes. Opens it up.
Most people go food there.
Takes out a tablespoon.
Oh, gets it dry. That's an advanced move.
And so, and he says,
let's do it dry.
He says, I'm trying to quit. I said, well, you're not doing a good job. You're not doing
around me here.
I didn't do it. You're not doing a good job. But
now, was he there? Like he wanted to rent out a room in his mansion.
Yes.
He had other roommates as well.
That were I don't want to talk about them.
Is this a halfway house?
No, it's a man. It was a mansion. But here's the thing. I said, Eric, you told me you were the owner. I looked on the property appraiser.
You're not.
You're not the owner.
You're lying. Eric.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So he says, why? I said, I'm offended that you asked me that.
God damn it.
And I said,
uh-oh.
Can't trust anybody.
Yeah. I said, listen, it's my duty to find these things out.
It's my duty to crate on that booty.
But anyway, that's the story. The story I want to say is this guy just pounded the whole thing of kratom, and then 15 minutes later he started
freaking out.
Yeah, freaking out.
Started having a seizure and he died.
Yeah.
So I had to burn the mansion down.
What do you think it was? Do you think it was like maybe he wanted, to have some relations with you?
No,
it wasn't that, or was it just he wanted a regular roommate?
He wanted a room. It was a loft. It had everything I needed. It was just a different person, and it was
so close,
so close. So I was just, like I said, we're talking about why do these things happen to me? Why do I find these? It's the rabbit hole. I could have seen him at the door. At the phone, he says, "I'm a felon, and don't be offended when you see me." I should have said,
"Don't be offended."
I should have hung up right then.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Well, I'm covered in tattoos. Did you think I'm like a bad apple or something?
I didn't.
Like I have. I don't know if but I'm covered.
Well,
like,
I've got a few myself.
What do you got? What do you got? You got Pac-Man.
I got my granddaughters, and I got some
good.
flowers and beach scenes and things.
Tom's got a beach scene.
Yeah,
you use the term a lot in the book rabbit hole, and you say sometimes you actively search for down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
That's a
there's a very good, Samantha. Somehow my life, your life goes along, and you're dry, and you're doing your job, or you eat and you come home, and then something happens to where you think it's going to be an exciting, crazy, terrible thing, and you want to go down there and see what it is, and this shoulder's saying, "Go down there, and the other shoulder says, "You better not," and so I haven't gone down the rabbit hole, but I've come close.
All right.
And so
what's in there?
That's rabbit sniffing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You get to the front of it. I'm not going down there, but I'll sniff it a little bit.
But I tell you what, going to this guy's house was going down the rabbit hole. I should have hung up on it. He said I'm a felon and blah blah blah. I should have just hung up on him and not even gone.
But you wanted to
couldn't
see,
help yourself.
But I went down the rabbit hole. That's the rabbit hole.
Oh, I see. So just actively putting yourself in a situation that could
Travis.
be bad.
Or like, let's see where this goes.
Who would have guessed that one day that rabbit would read my text messages?
Yeah. But I picked up. I got a phone. Go to this, and it's a mailbox. And
Go to the mailbox.
And I look at the house, and it's this mailbox, and I heard this, "Help, help," and I said, "Well, that's what the heck, help."
I'm trapped in the mailbox. Help!
There's a guy laying in the bushes. And Clint Eastwood says, you gotta go help this guy. I had every reason to leave.
Don't help him. He's
I had every reason to
a
leave.
ne'er-do-well,
Yeah.
a scofflaw.
Oh yeah, Sean Connery.
Don't
we know
help
how
him.
you feel.
He's a disgusting homeless person.
Have some balls and help this guy.
Wait, that's Clint.
Oh yeah. So Clint's telling you to help the guy in the bushes.
Yes,
And what Sean's like, no, he's disgusting. I think he shot his pants.
But I had every right. He's drunk. He's been doing cocaine, and what he's doing, cocaine.
Which is fancier cocaine.
Yeah. I have to know what he's doing before he gets
cocaine and hash.
Yeah, before he gets into the back of my car, because there's no window there. He could whack me on the head.
Oh yeah.
So I had
He's
to
got a whacking window.
to find out what's going on, and I am an empathetic person. I'm going to help this guy.
Yeah.
And as we move along, I take him to a place that's real, because it's a place where you got to check. I have to check him in. He's passed out. I have to check him in, and it's a place where all the people that are in there are drug addicts.
Oh, Kobe Steak.
And the cops know they're there. The cops know this is true. The cops know they're there, but they don't. They
turn a blind eye.
Yes,
they're cool with
as long as I stay there. Don't make a lot of noise. Don't hurt anybody. They just let him alone.
Like a Dog the Bounty Hunter scenario.
And this is where I took him. But when I took him, I had to check him into the office. I said, "What is about this guy?" And he was a hero in the war, Iraq War, and he has PSD, whatever.
PTSD.
He has a PS5.
Yeah, PSD 417, and I got more respect for him. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because you have to read the book.
Gotcha.
What happens.
Yeah.
I'm setting everybody up, man.
Give him a little bit. Give him a little bit.
Yes, give him a taste of the kratom.
Carrie, you're going to do another book signing at the Healthy Buddha, like you said, Orange Avenue. And what date and time is that?
Yeah, that's the Saturday, 2 days from now, the 29th at 3 to 5.
All right. And we're going to have you next week, Carrie. And if there's they just turned off when we were in it.
Yeah.
If there's
freaking you out a little.
I'll believe in God. If we bring you in randomly.
Tom thinks that in some weird way you are divine and that maybe you are the manifestation of God in our Tom and Dan universe. You are our God now.
Or Daniel from the future. That crossed my mind.
I told you this
Future
before.
Daniel crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I was like,
God needs a job. I told you that before.
Yeah.
And I know what you told me, and I understand. I'm doing Uber Eats to make ends meet.
So is Butler.
I've got some. I've got some jobs that are roofing that are finally coming to fruition. So I'm working my way back after my neck surgery, and this is so much fun to be on here and to interact with you guys.
Well, we have fun with you.
Yeah,
and you're a good sport because we like play hard and we're joking around about you being a legitimate crazy person, and you're okay with it. You're just like, hey man, I'm selling books. There's a tinge of it in there because there's a tinge of it in me. You know that though.
Sure. I like you better without the hat, tell you the truth.
Okay. How about this? I buzzed my beard down a little bit.
Yeah, you did.
Is that better or no?
I love it. It's kind of like the when in the okay, I can't.
well, that's fine.
That's you. That's future you. That's you. What if this is our son? What if we had a 69 baby and this is our baby? You ever heard of a 69 baby? Once, then you travel back once every 100 years while two men are 69. The immaculate conception happens where two pod nesters who are 69 and can create
Miami Vice,
a beautiful old kratom baby.
Miami Vice look. That's what I was going for.
Miami Vice. Your stepfather was a Miami Vice. Oh my God, it's happening.
It's the Miami Vice. It's the in look for actors is having a half shaven.
The Miami Vice.
Yeah,
I'm gonna push my sleeves up too on this blazer I'm wearing.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to go see Carrie at the Healthy Buddha, and we'll
buy my book.
Shout out to the Healthy Buddha. They're nice people. They were very supportive on our webpage. They gave you a shout out. Don't give away any more than we got.
Show them.
Show the book.
Taxi Chronicles. You're on camera.
This guy knows how to plug stuff. Oh yeah, hold it up yourself. You're on camera.
Okay,
you're good. You should have a show.
Taxi Chronicles by Carrie Edwards. And the thing that you haven't brought up is who is really driving the cab. And if you look, I have Clint Eastwood and Sean Connery because when they take me over, they are driving.
Who's the better driver? Or do you want to save that as something that we read?
Who's the better driver?
Or have you ever thought of that?
Sean's the better driver.
Sean?
Clint's going after the guy.
Is it weird for Sean being? He's like, I'm on the wrong side.
Clint takes over and brings it back. Yeah.
You're doing it wrong, you stupid limey.
Haven't you ever seen a dragon before?
All right, we got to go. Kratom, Carrie, thanks so much.
I don't mind the name, by the way. I like it.
Hey, well, we're not. We're sticking with it.
You guys started it. It's following me everywhere, and I don't mind. It's great. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you, Carrie.
Come Saturday, 3 to 5 at the Healthy Buddha.
Good luck with the book signing and with Uber Eats, and I'm sure that some of our listeners might, if they, if you're in Carrie's area now, knowing that he Uber Eats, you might end up going for nachos and getting Carrie.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
All right, bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Would you guys like to... Did we have a game plan here?
No.
Voicemail?
As you can hear, the pressure washer is still out there.
It's really getting at Tom today.
Should we
tell... Can't even power through the pressure washer.
Would it make you uncomfortable if I went and talked to him live on the air? I will walk from this spot.
Bring your phone.
I will walk from this spot out there, and I will just say, hey, can you give us 20 minutes?
No, but he's doing his job.
I'm doing my job.
That's true.
I'm doing my job.
Yeah. I know.
Hey, can you pressure wash after 4 p.m. in front of our building?
But then
How late are they out there?
This guy. I mean,
is that noise diminishing the experience?
Now, you could make an argument that the noise, and this is the way I've always rationalized it in my crazy brain, is that true listeners of this program will like this because it's a difference in audio. What I mean by that is you listen to a lot of shows, a lot of regulars that like real radio.
It's going to be standard.
Yeah, you'll listen all day, and you get basically a standard show. Now, I will say that a lot of shows now do sort of a hybrid where it's like some people are in one location, some people are in the main studio. I think Sean Wasson, I think they're all remote. I think they're just like us, except they're live, but they're from their own studio.
Yeah.
We're from our own studio. But, like with all of that being said, I feel like we're the only show that gives you the true 3D audio experience. Atmos.
It's almost like you're here with us.
This is Dolby Atmos.
Yeah.
We give you the Tom and Dan Dolby Atmos. That hopefully that's copywritten in it. But, it doesn't matter. Dolby Atmos, Tom and Dan. We give you the full 3D sound. Feel the sound. 360 degrees of sound.
Sometimes we just add the pressure washer.
Yeah, is this a real?
Yeah. Is someone actually out there? Yeah.
Is there someone out there? Or am I just adding that? Do I just go to my CD collection of sound effects that I stole from Dave Green, and I put in a CD and I fire up? Now that you think, your mind is telling you that's a pressure washer. It's not. It's small engine number 5.
Okay,
small engine number 5. But you can use that for anything. Go-kart, golf cart. Pressure wash shape. You see what I'm doing?
Yeah. It's hauling ass if it's a golf cart.
It's pegged.
I can't wait till they start spraying the door like they do every time.
Yeah.
Last time they got the window and mud came through. I was like, what the hell? Oh, no.
Not mud.
Lee used to sit here.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
All right, let's do some voicemail.
All right, voicemail messages. Leave us one through our Tom and Dan app. First to have an app, and also first to never update it.
You reminded me. I got to email.
I know.
Man.
We got
to email them.
We got so much going on
we
today.
Email
the hot sauce. I gotta get the couches. Gotta get the couches.
You gotta get the
What
couch?
couch?
The TVs.
I thought you said we gotta get the gauchos, and I'm like, Mexican cowboys? We'll never find any Mexican cowboys.
They're out there.
Here we go.
Tom and Dan and Sam. Hey guys, it's Kenny. I know everyone always talks about Matthew Stafford looking like Tom or Tom looking like Matthew Stafford, but there's a new candidate, Joe Burrow. He looks like a younger Tom Van. Like if Tom Van and a healthy Macaulay Culkin had a kid, it would be Joe Burrow, the quarterback of the Bengals. All right, love you guys. Bye.
No, your hair is too wavy. Your hair's too long to even be anywhere close to Joe Burrow.
He looks more like Macaulay Culkin than me.
He definitely looks more like a Culkin.
You think he looks like a Culkin?
Yeah.
Culkin!
Here's what's unfortunate is I look less like Matthew Stafford than I used to.
You do.
And we've aged at the same time. It's not like he got younger.
He's looking more attractive.
Apparently, he's leaned out. You both have leaned out.
And
playing
Tom's nose got hookier and redder.
Whoa, that is just insulting as all hell. Oh my, hookier. She just said you got a hook nose.
She called me a hooky ready.
She called you a hooky ready. You are a red-faced, hook-nosed alcoholic is what I heard.
It's a disease.
And you beat your wife. That's what I heard. This guy's alcoholic beats his wife, hook nose. I knew I was the good one.
This is a disease. How dare you shame me? You are the worst person in Orlando.
In Orlando.
Yeah, you're not supposed to shame someone for their disease.
Yeah, my God. This guy's got a drinking disorder.
I thought it was my fault. Snorting kratom with Carrie.
No, you don't snort it. You eat it.
Yeah. That makes my insides red.
I disagree, Kenny. I apologize. Let's see.
Now they're saying you look like Jim Brewer. That's more offensive than what I said.
But you look like the new Jim Brewer, which is weird COVID conservative Jim Brewer. That's who you look like. Where he's like, what's up with these masks? And he does the goat thing, but he's like anti-mask. He's like, I don't know why anybody's wearing and he does that weird laugh. I don't know why anybody's wearing a mask. I'm Jim Brewer. What are you doing? Just go away, Jim. We don't need you right now. Now's not the time. Look, this mask thing's hard enough without you goat boying it. Get out of here.
Yeah. I like 2.5 baked.
Yeah, go back to that, Jim Brewer.
With Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. You kind of do look like Jim Brewer.
Yes.
Samantha's.
I didn't bring it up. They did in the chat. And now that I'm looking at it, I can see it.
I've done nothing to
you. She just want to get that ink on the contract dry before she started talking about your hook nose.
I did do the male.
Ew, you're so gross.
I did do that male stripper thing.
Well, that's a forever payback.
And I put you in a lot of dangerous situations.
Yes, incling on a boat trip to nowhere.
Yeah. Also earlier today.
Okay. I tried to warn you. I read the book. I read the book.
This particular voicemail I'm going to play you right now, I can't I can't concentrate. I played it like 9 times. I don't know what the guy's saying because I get caught up in the Fat Boy Slim.
Guys, I got a question for you. I'm driving on I-4 tonight and noticed some bad drivers as usual. But I just wonder what the psychology is that when you're driving along and someone is just not driving the way you want them to, whether too slow or too fast, or they change lanes in front of you, cut you off, and people will absolutely lose their about those people. But if you were like trying to, someone's coming in through the outdoor or out through the indoor and you're kind of in your way, you kind of just do a little dance and you laugh and you chuckle, or you say you're good if someone accidentally bumps into you as they're walking by. But I don't know, man. In a car, you're just like, and I know this, but it still doesn't keep me from, I don't get like road rage, but I do get, I'm like, well, that fucking idiot is so fucking.
Okay, sorry, Sam. Tom was like saying, keep going. She deserves it. I wasn't going to.
I was going to let him say it more.
Let him release the F words. Release the F words. Yeah. She deserves all of it. My hook nose approves. My hook nose approves.
So, this is the same psychology behind why no one's ever said anything
I can't hear you over the press.
I know! Bother me every second.
He can't get over it. We can move the engine. It's sitting right here.
No, never touch it.
He's way down there at the end, but he's got it sitting right out here.
Go out there and just go out there and just like flip those.
He probably has headphones on, right?
So
yeah, he'll never know.
No, they don't. They don't. That's what bothers me too. They do it without headphones. They just listen to the sound of the washer.
This is like a young Tom Van out here pressure washing.
Oh my God!
Is he white? Everybody white looks the same.
He got a hook nose.
I can't tell. He turned his back.
No,
but he looks like you.
No, wait a minute. Everybody talks about like the future and look at the Cybertruck and electric car this and Tesla Plaid and brr, 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 but you mean to tell me we can't have an electric pressure washer? That's 10 times faster, 100 times faster.
Half the water is coming out of the hose right here where it's connected, so there's not that much pressure coming out of the thing.
No.
They'll never remember to charge it.
You're right.
And they'll get to the job and it'll be like, oh, God, Tony didn't charge it.
Put it on the supercharger. That takes 40 minutes. Oh, God.
So, anyway, the psychology is the same with why people don't say the same things they say on the internet to our faces, right?
Right.
It's because, so when you're not in your car and you bump into someone that like walk into a door or whatever, you're not going to get as mad because now you're just standing there facing the person. So you're like, people's default, I think, is just polite, non-confrontational. When you're in essentially a metal tank driving, you feel empowered, right? And then there's distance.
Right.
There's distance between the other person.
They're all tools, right? Car is a tool. Facebook's a tool. When you're using a tool and you're not just bare or naked in front of the person, you're not vulnerable.
Yeah.
This all makes sense.
And so, like, you're getting mad at the other person. There's not that connection because you're disconnected from being in two cars. I think that all plays into it, right?
Gotcha.
No one's that aggressive on the streets. Some people will try to fight you for no reason, but usually they're crazy, right?
Normally, yeah. Normally, they're crazy.
Or drunk at a sporting event or something.
Or on that Russian drug crocodile. You guys want to try?
I haven't heard about that in a while, right?
There's a new one that I saw on TikTok. And these videos, I hate these videos, where it's like the person filming somebody having a drug overdose, and then they're like filming them, and I'm like, yeah, you should have called 911. Or at least I called 911 before I started filming this TikTok. That would make me feel better.
Yeah. I think everybody's default now, which is sad, is just film it.
I know.
Which is just
call 911 first. If you're going to film it. I'm serious when I say this.
Yeah.
The least you can do is call 911 and say, yeah, there's a guy here. I believe he's on some sort of medication. He's freaking out. Then when you're done with that, then feel free to film. Yeah. I don't think you can do both. I don't think my phone does that.
Yeah.
I think you will like this voicemail, Tom. Yeah, that's a goodie.
Hey, Tom and Dan. I'm not a BDM because screw you.
Oh, wow.
But had a story that I hadn't thought about in forever. But growing up, I lived next door to my grandpa who had like an aircraft salvage yard. So basically like a car junkyard, but with old airplanes. And there was one that I would go in the middle of summer, and I can't remember why I would do it. I would crawl in, and it would just be hot crawling inside this old hole. And there was one particular spot where there was like a round inspection panel, and one of the screws I had taken out so you could flip it open, and I would sit inside the hot airplane, and I would poop down into, I guess, the cavity hole, like the empty area between the inside and outside. And I did that probably twice a week for a year. And it would stink so bad and be so hot when I was in there, but I always kind of felt like I deserved the misery.
It's my voicemail of the week. Sir, we're gonna put $1,000 in your hand for that disgusting voicemail. You win. You're our winner. That's my favorite voicemail we've ever had. This guy would get inside his grandpa's airplane salvage yard. He'd find an old plane, crawl inside the stinky hot hole, and crap in a little hatch. He found a poop hatch, and he'd poop in the hatch twice a week for years. And then he emailed me back because I emailed him and I said, I have a feeling that my business partner, old TV, is going to want you on the show. Because you got the goods. And he emailed me back, and he gave me a little nugget, pun intended, that he said, he went on to say that he was like, yeah, when I was in there, like pooping and, like taking care of myself, yada, yada. And I was like, hold on a second. I didn't reply back to him, but I did say when I was reading, I was like, no, hold on a damn minute. You were doing both 1 and 4?
In the hot...
Or no, 2.
Junkyard?
You were doing 1, 2, and 4. Because a 1 is a 1, a 2 is a brown, or a 2 is a 2.
Yeah. A 3
is a loose 2, and a 4 is a white 1.
So he's doing 2 and 4.
And a 2 comes with a 1 most times.
Most of the time.
But he's adding a 4, which is disgusting.
It is disgusting. That's your grandpa's plane, man.
And makes you insane. Like a lot of it.
What about the number 2? Does that make you insane?
Not once. Once is just, let me
necessity.
See. Yeah. The fact that for twice.
What about twice? I think twice. I give him 2.
A lot of guys, I think this is a guy thing. Like, my friends used to poop off of bridges.
It is a guy thing. Guys like to put their poop places.
Yeah.
Google that. Google why guys poop different places.
Is that part of marking your territory?
I'm going to guess there is something.
It's that mixed with being dumb and then just...
And liking gross stuff?
Thinking poop is funny.
It's funny.
Yeah, I remember my buddy Andy, he told me one day we were sitting on my couch...
You guys are called serial poopers.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yeah.
And my buddy Andy, we're sitting...
condition?
There's a BBC article about it.
And...
That's crazy.
We're sitting on the in my couch in my old duplex near UCF, and he's like, "Hey, come film me do something." And I went outside. And
That's a dangerous.
And he climbed on the roof and got to the edge and was kind of like owling on the edge with his rear facing my yard, and then he just went off the roof into a igloo cooler that he opened up.
It was an off-brand.
And I filmed it, and then I was like, what is this
And that's when you knew you wanted to be in entertainment, right? That's when you're like, I'm going to be a podcaster.
And then we showed it to everybody.
Hey, look at this video. I mean, look, he got it right in the cooler. It didn't even hit the lip.
No, it hit the top too, and then all over my my patio. But it was a mold. It was all.
Hopefully, it rains.
Lived in squalor.
Ghost of Minute Bull, and very Ghost. I think I did this as well.
A quote in this is, somebody who defecates in public has mental health issues. It's as simple as that. If you're socialized, that's the last thing that you'd want to do.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Ghost of Minute Bull.
It's a young man's game.
And I think I have one of these stories too. Remember the one where I was playing Army? Ghost of a New Bull says, when I was a little kid, I once went outside and dug a hole in the yard to poop in just to do it. Right. I buried it like a cat, and I went inside for a PBJ.
Yeah.
Did you wipe?
Yeah, I did that. I did that in my Army pants, and I didn't wipe, and I had to walk like Tom does, like stiff cheeks. I had to stiff cheek it all the way home, which was about a mile.
Oh, my God.
So I had to walk. I was walking like a Russian soldier. Like I walked all the way home, and I remember when I got home, I wiped and cleaned myself up, did my thing, and put my, my Army Navy store pants back on, and away we went. Probably had a PBJ too with milk, ice cold milk, 1 ice cube.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in college, the Grizz tried to poop inside a light socket in some girl's dorm room.
How does that even work?
Well, it didn't work.
Did he take the plate off, or is he trying to go through the prong holes?
It was through
the prongs?
Through the prong holes? This guy's a an idiot.
Yeah.
He's the
What
dumbest person. You know what? Text him that he's the dumbest person.
Against the wall?
You can't do that. What is it, Play-Doh Fun Factory?
We were like, she's gone, do it through the and then
get a screwdriver. No, we don't have time to take the plate off. You have to go through the plug holes. You guys are idiots.
Well, that's the theme. You think this guy is a genius in a hot plate for two times a week? Why did he keep doing it?
He said he felt like he deserved it.
Yeah, he felt like at some point
the self-punishment was like whipping yourself in the back.
Wait, he sent me a follow-up email. Hold on.
Man.
I'm going to find
What did he do to deserve that?
I'm going to find this follow-up email.
It's not a BDM, so...
Hold on. Plug something while I find the follow-up, because you need this. You need this.
Why don't you get yourself a new slouchy beanie? You can poop in it if you want. We won't judge you.
Yeah, do whatever you want. It's at tomanddan.com under our merch section. Yeah. We've got hammocks, we got belts, we've got bandanas. We have T-shirts.
We got makeup bags.
Yeah.
We got it all. You can poop in that too. It's big enough.
Yeah. I mean, basically, he goes on.
In all of our merch.
Basically, he goes on to say that at one point when they were selling the land and getting rid of everything, he stood there and watched as a crane picked up the plane that he crapped in for 20 years or whatever, and they put it in an incinerator, and he watched it melt and burst into flames, and he laughed.
Well, this is the guy that's going to kill us. Let Kratom Gary. He's fine.
Man.
This guy can't find this poop plane.
Poop plane, man.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I can't find the email, but yeah, he said.
But it's also dumb things kids do. Kids do a lot of dumb things, and for no reason. And you ask them, why'd you do that? And they're just like, I don't know. My sons are going to do this because they do stuff all the time. I'm like, why did you do that? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, you're me.
Oh, there's more. He's also the same guy who was listening to our show. And we did a show about just horsing around where a couple was having sex with a horse. And his wife heard it, and she asked what show it was so she could go, and she canceled his BDM subscription.
That's why he's not a BDM.
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
All right, well.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Oh, wait. Well, yeah, and during your voicemail, you sounded like you're all tough and saying, your wife canceled your membership.
You're
I leave him alone. He's fine.
Yeah, that's what people who poop in planes do.
Does your wife know you pooped in a plane? Maybe then she would look at you differently instead of horsing around. It's not that bad. Listen to a podcast isn't as bad as pooping in a plane.
We're making jokes about a horse. You were actually
defecating twice a week.
Yeah, in a hot plane.
You guys are mean. I'm with you, sir. You're fine. You're fine. You poop where you want to. You know what? There's a little. He had a special thing between him and his grandpa. And who are you guys?
Did Grandpa know he was doing
that? No, or maybe he did. Maybe he turned a blind eye to it. He was out there crapping in a plane again. I like it. I like it. He spends time with me, that boy.
It would be cool if your grandfather owned a junkyard and you were a kid and you just ran around the junkyard.
I hung out in quite a few junkyards as
I
guess
it's not cool. Right?
It is cool.
It's fun.
It would be cool because you'd have a lot of things to poop in.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean...
But can't say that I ever pooped there, but...
And there's probably just a lot of spiders everywhere and rattlesnakes. You know what I'm saying? I bet a lot of animals get into that junk and live there, right? So
not the ones I was at, but I mean, I wasn't there at night though.
Like the junkyards in Bithlow.
Well, you get like a dog that lives in the yard, right?
Yeah, definitely a dog.
Well,
that lives there.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the spiders and the reptiles and the all the little animals that squeeze in the junk and then make homes out of it, right?
I would imagine, yeah.
There's rats in there, and
I don't see many airplane graveyards in real life.
That's a desert thing.
Yeah, right? Or a Forza 5 thing where you race in video games, you drive cars over, because they always use the airplane wings as like a ramp.
We've got tons of...
It's cheaping out, if you ask me.
Junkyard Alley, down 50. There's
Bithlow. I showed you that commercial.
I
salvage yard.
Well, how come we've never done that as a go-to show? That might be kind of fun.
That would be fun.
Tom and Dan go to the junkyard or go to the dump. I used to love to walk around with a dump.
We got stuff we got to take.
With my dad, because I'd find porno. Every time I go to the dump, I'd find porno.
Yeah.
I'd stash some.
But do you think you still would in 2022?
No, digital porno.
Yeah, it doesn't.
We got to find the digital junkyard. Is there a place in the metaverse where all the byproducts of what we do goes, the junk, because we need to walk through there.
You load up all your NFTs, you drive to the dump.
A bunch of MySpace passwords, some ICQ, some stupid AIM, that AIM guy, that little yellow boy, the yellow band, you know?
Yeah. A bunch of Cosby memes.
Yeah, bunking the martini glass.
Yeah, this is an old
Charlie
meme.
bit my finger. He's like 25 now.
Yeah. All right, bye-bye.